Deep brain stimulation works by inserting wire electrodes down into the brain. The substantia nigra is part of a circuit, and parts of that circuit get inappropriately underactive, and some get inappropriately overactive. And these electrodes dampen the output from different clusters of nerve cells in the brain. And for the right individuals, those under 75 with Parkinson's who've responded to medications and have developed complications of it, it can be quite beneficial. Michael Hogan, the author on the book with me, is one of the world's experts in the surgical treatment of the book of Parkinson's, and he devotes chapters 8 and 9 to discussing some of these surgical treatments. I think more fundamentally, why aren't we making the progress that we would like to make in Parkinson's disease? Why isn't there a cure? People have been talking about a cure for 20 years. Why isn't it arrived? The prerequisite to curing a disease in medicine is to know its cause. The prerequisite to curing a disease in medicine is to first know its cause. And, you and I trained, we saw bleeding ulcers, right? When we were in training, bleeding ulcers came in all the time into the emergency room. You had to type and cross the blood. You had to get the blood transfusions. It was a bloody mess. And then scientists figured out that bleeding ulcers wasn't due to stress, but it was due to H. pylori. We give people an antibiotic. And when's the last time you heard about someone dying from a bleeding ulcer?
Right.
Not even in the 1960s, the top 10 leading cause of death. Now it's almost unheard of. When we were in school, there was something called non-Hep A, non-Hep B, right? People were getting liver disease and no one could figure out what it was. It turned out it was a new virus, hepatitis C. I think to the shock and astonishment of both of us, when we were in medical school, liver transplants was the treatment for hepatitis C, which was causing a bloody mess. You got to go harvest livers from people who were dying, bring it in, transplant it, hope that the surgeon didn't get nicked.
Right.
The whole thing.
But I want to ask you something. But it seems like we do know what I don't know if we say the cause. Well, I think you've alluded in your book the causes, but it seems like we also know the problem, that it's this lack of dopamine. And
well, no, we know the consequence. We know the consequence of it, but we don't know what the proximate cause is. And I think we do. I think it's these chemicals.
Right, but let's say it's those chemicals. But let's say, L-DOPA just sort of is the Band-Aid to replenish. Do you think that stem cells or some kind of CRISPR or something,
or screen compounds against these toxicants in the lab? Just like you screen for chemicals against hepatitis C or HIV,